Here's a clip for this week's video log. You can see the very impressive mess that I've got going on this floor right now, and that's because the drawer tower that used to be right there, I've now moved over here, and I'm going to have to replace it because, as you can very clearly see, it's falling apart because I've been using it as a makeshift work area, and that will not do because it's a piece of flimsy crap. So I will not be able to use it for that, so I've moved it out of the way. I don't like where that is, just because of its proximity. It doesn't really give me a lot of space. This fan is falling apart. I don't know why that fan is doing what it's doing, but clearly I'm going to have to do some work on it. So I'm not really sure what it thinks it's doing, but it's not doing anything correctly, so I may just junk it because it's honestly a piece of crap. So I don't even turn that stupid thing off. Sounds like we've got some serious business going on. Wow. Anyway. Now it's raining even harder. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted. I don't even remember what I was in the process of saying, but a lot of this is probably just going to go to the curb. The boxes, some of this plastic crap, the electronics, like the motherboards and that stuff. Probably not. I don't think you can get away with that, but large majority of it. I'm trying to get somebody, I've got it listed for sale as scrap metal. And I've had a couple of people that have said, oh, I'll come by, I'll come pick it up, and set a time, and they don't show up. Whatever. Anyway, there's more of it over there. There's more of it over here. Now, this is something I'm extremely pissed off about. And the seller is being a complete dick about it, too. Are you sure it's damaged in shipping? Really, woman? Like, honestly? No, I didn't damage it in shipping. It didn't get damaged in shipping. I threw it off the top of the Empire State Building. That's how it got broken. Anyway, that's how it arrived. In that packaging. It's the most ridiculous packaging I've ever seen in my life. Anyway. It's even worse than the... What was it that I got? Oh, this camera, actually. Yeah, this thing. Which is just the camera that's in this bag. I took the accessories out. At least I think I took the accessories out. Pretty sure I took the accessories are all still over here. Of course, I gotta go put the power board back in this TV, but I'm not gonna do that until this crap is all out of the way, so I can have some space to work, because of course people get on my case about, oh, there's so much stuff all over the place, and half of it isn't even mine. It's really not the big stuff. Like, the boat isn't mine. Those chairs aren't mine. The hockey crap isn't mine. That foosball table isn't mine. Ridiculous. Everybody else can do everything except for me. Yeah. This isn't a time to get pissed off. What is this? Is this a Duron? Oh, that's an Athlon. That's a 3000 plus. Is that a 3000 plus? A3000. Huh. Anyway. I'm going to sort through that box. Get rid of that box. Probably a lot of stuff in there that can just go in the garbage. That ribbon cable, that circular one, I'm going to toss that because those are dumb. I hate those. Anyway. So stuff that needs to be sold, that stuff needs to go inside. Oh, so many ongoing projects. Of course, now it's raining out. There was thunder a minute ago. Because I think I missed most of it. Wasn't originally going to shoot a video. I guess this will be part of the video log for this week. There's a case and a thing that's for sale. What else is in here? Not really much. It hasn't really changed much. There's laptops way in the back that you can't see because this thing is trash. I hate this phone. It's such a piece of junk. Of course, all cell phones are pieces of junk. People wonder, why do you record with cameras? Because they're so much better. This thing don't even work at all. That's really raining. Huh. I gotta go get the mail, doggone it. Oh, that figures. By the time I get back, it's mostly over. But, Definitely got kabooming going on. These are my BNC adapters. Wow. It's like they drove on the lawn. I don't see how they could have pulled a turn off like that without driving on the lawn. Let me open this and see if that's what it actually is. Okay, I think that was the worst packaging I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it's an envelope. You don't have to tape it like it's going to the Pentagon. So, of course, they went flying. I did find 4. I think there were only 4. I only need 4, so I don't really care about any of the others. But, yeah, these are BNC to RCA adapters. Hopefully, they will do the job. I guess if not, I'll be speaking to another seller. Getting tired of speaking to sellers because a lot of them lately have been content on trying to screw me over, so. Gotta love defective computer hardware. I'm not even really sure what it is. This is an Intel DQ. What is this? Is it a DQ or is it a DG? Or DH? I don't actually know, because I can't even read the friggin' board. DQ57TM. It's got an i7-870 CPU, and yes, I know there's no heatsink paste. This is a temporary hookup because I knew that it probably wasn't going to work. And I'm not going to waste thermal paste on something if it's not going to work. For a quick test, it works just fine. And this is a 2GB RAM stick. Now, this RAM is probably bad, because I know I've had issues with it in the past, but it was good enough to let that APU down there post, which you can't even see because the low light sensitivity on this piece of shit is just terrible. People always are like, oh, you should use your cell phone to record videos. Well, it's garbage. And this is why. The chip could be bad because I think, if I remember right, there's a dark spot on the bottom of it. If I can actually get this stupid thing open, that might be useful. Come on. I want my chip back. Yeah, there's a nice dark spot over there. That could just be not cleaned. I may try and clean it. Or that could be a burn mark from the other motherboard that it was in. Because that suffered from socket warpage, which is apparently a very common problem. I probably should clean that anyway, because I've just put my fingers all over it. Or it could be a defective board, because this board was sold to me untested. So I have no way of knowing. So I guess the solution is going to be to go and... I actually did buy another board, same model. That's got a CPU and RAM, and it's tested working. So, or supposedly tested working. I don't even know what that means. And I guess I'll have to try that. And if that works, I can get it configured, then try and swap the chip in. And see what happens. If it doesn't work, then I'll know that the chip is bad. If it does work, then I'll know that I have either defective RAM or a defective board. And I can do process of elimination from there. And speaking of untested, you saw that pile of junk that I had sitting out there. It was listed, it was all listed as one listing, you know, pile of miscellaneous junk. And in the description I had posted, untested, guaranteed not to work, I think was the wording that I used. But really, honestly, most of it didn't work. Some of it probably does. It's just useless crap that I don't need. But anyway, probably doesn't work. Sold as is, where is, what you see is what you get. Apparently, people don't read these things. I had somebody come by today in search of some power supplies. And, you know, I straight up front told the guy, look, I don't think this works. It might work, but I don't think it does. And didn't really get much of a reaction out of it, so I didn't think anything of it. I took some cabling off of two of the other power supplies, actually, and I guess was going to graft them in to make it work with what he wanted. And, of course, naturally, the power supply turned out not to work. You know, it's a 460-watt power supply. You think maybe there's a reason why it's out in a junk pile? Like, I don't get it. So, now I gotta deal with that, which means I'm probably gonna have to take a loss on that. Missing out on, it's like $3, but still, it's a loss of $3 for over something that I shouldn't have had to lose any money over. You know, if you'd actually paid attention to the goddamn listing, you probably would have known, and you would have been able to realize that, oh, maybe this isn't quite what I want, and I should go for something that is known working. People defy explanation, like, I swear. Well, it's not as disagreeable as it was earlier, but it's fixing up to be a very disagreeable day. So I'm rendering some videos right now. That one's actually finished, so I can move on with that, but, wrap this thing up. I was putting this, video log together, and I realized that there's a lot of stuff that's missing that I thought that I had recorded. So I guess I'm going to have to fill it in after the fact, which is really annoying, but it's the way that it's going to be. There's two PowerBooks there, 165C and a 170 that I've put together from parts. The 165C actually was already together, so there's a video of that, but I just replaced the bottom panel. If we go ahead and take a look here, you can see that it's now not modified. That was a pain to do. That was a real pain to do. This 170 needs to have an operating system loaded on it. I got a new keyboard for my home theater computer. This is a Logitech K400 Plus. I was disappointed to learn that wireless keyboards are $50. And this is one of the cheap ones, too. Most of the other ones were like $70 or $80, so... But it's a nice feeling keyboard. Let's see if I can get this out of here. It's actually a really nice keyboard. I really do like it. I think it's better than the Microsoft one that it replaced, which is now downstairs on the other home theater computer where it belongs. Got some RAM here. This is just G.Skill Ripjaws DDR3 1333. I put it on this board over here, and that allowed me to determine that the RAM is not the issue, because it is still completely lifeless. So I don't think it's the power supply, because I've changed the power supply. I've changed the video card twice, and the RAM, it seems like the RAM is the thing. I've tried it in a couple of different slots as well. It doesn't seem to make a difference, so it's either the motherboard or the CPU. I got another board, and since I know that that chip is only supported on this board with certain BIOS revisions, I'll try updating the BIOS on the other board. And that's why I say always update the BIOS, because you never know when you could come into contact with something like this. But I really don't know. I really think that either this chip is bad or this motherboard is bad. In which case I'm going to have to go through the painful process of returning it. See if I even can. Probably not. Got some server projects coming up that I probably ought to get done this weekend while it's dreary and disgusting outside. But I don't know if I'm going to shoot videos of any of that. It's really not that interesting. And let's face it, I've got a huge backlog of videos as it is. I may do it anyway, because I know how people like watching computer videos, but I'm at the point now where I've got to really kind of take a step back and get some of these projects done versus getting videos of them. Yeah, it's a nasty day. This is what's left of the scrap. Everything has managed to fit into the 4 boxes. So, there you go. Check this out. This is actually recent. I was going to put capacitors in this, just because I was pretty sure that was all that was wrong with it. But as it turns out, I don't think any of these... there's a bulging cap down there. But I really don't think that that's caused the issue that this power supply has. Let's see if I can get this board out enough to where you can see it. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't that look nice? Nice big burn mark. And it's burned through the whole board, so this thing is junk. Like, irreparably junk. So, that's what it was. Of course, it had to be one of the nice ones. And funny, I could get one of those on eBay for about, let's see, I think it was like $40 shipped. So, I might do that. I don't know. I don't really need it that badly, though. It just would have been a nice power supply. But it doesn't work. I could tell somebody's been messing around with things because that was up on the shelf. And I don't really know why it got moved. That seems kind of pointless to me because nothing up here has changed. Whatever. So this is scrap monitor. Those power supplies are still good. I have to clean them out. Yeah, these are power supplies that are just capacitors, or at least it seems like they are just capacitors at the very least. I know this True Power 2.0 right here, 350, is just capacitors. There's no board damage or anything like that. There's a Phantom down there. That's going to be hell to try and replace the caps on because I can't even tell what any of them are. And trying to look up online, you know, what capacitors are needed for power supplies is impossible because apparently nobody lists them. Everybody's like, yeah, I've got this power supply, I replaced the caps in it, or I got this power supply that's got this issue, throw it out and buy a new one, you know. It's ridiculous, really it is. It's a Smart Power right there. These are trash, I've heard. Really, really, really bad power supplies. But it seems to be mostly capacitor related, so I'll probably replace the caps in that too. But again, that one's fairly dense and I can't get that board out, so that one's going to be a fun one. I may just not even bother. Honestly, it might not even be worth my time. I have a couple more that will need some work. The air conditioner hasn't moved. Probably ought to deal with that. I don't even know if you guys know about that. I did record a video, but it's not uploaded yet. It's coming here. I had a couple more power supplies. I think the ones on that shelf are still good. I think those are Sparkle Powers. I think those are okay. But there's an SU380 right there, and there's an EA380 right there. Those also need work. Again, I don't have a pressing need for them right now, so I just haven't bothered with them at the moment. But probably be nice power supplies to have. What else? See, I've kind of cleared up some of this. This computer over here, even though the seller was just completely rude about it, I did end up getting all my money back for that. Well, not quite, partial refund, which I was willing to accept because I wasn't going to ship it back. And with the way they were acting, I think they probably would have made me ship it back if, well, basically I'll put that all, I will record a video of that, at least try it out and see if it does anything. So that's done. I really need to get these dealt with, though. So I'll probably get a pen and paper and start writing down capacitor values so I can order them. So many boxes in here that happen to have my address on them. That's not my address. Obviously, I'm not in Kentucky. But, yeah, those are all parts picked off of PowerBooks. I've got a 165 and a 170 in there that are awaiting pieces. Lower pan. I actually have a lower pan on the way that I'll use to replace the 165 parts with. And then, I've lost my train of thought again. The 170 can have the floppy drive off that lower pan. Or something, or I'll figure something out, really. And this is BSR. This one needs quite a bit of work because the power switch is very obviously broken, so it doesn't power on. So I'll have to figure out how to get that one going. Okay, I got my capacitor listing. Unfortunately, these all use a lot of, especially the Phantom. I don't know if it was the Phantom. No, it wasn't the Phantom. It was this one right here, the Smart Power. It uses a lot of little tiny caps that you can't actually read the values on. So I'm going to just ignore all those little tiny ones and just do the big ones. since the little ones probably aren't stressed too much, they're probably still good. And they shouldn't really have any reason to fail anyway, even though they're cheap junk. Just do the big ones, and hopefully that will get those power supplies up and working. I gotta do desktop work too. A lot of people want to see more videos of desktop computers, but to be quite honest about it, I don't know what to do because none of them have been going for a sympathy vote lately. I did get a new one, a new 386, but it was damaged in shipping. And I got a refund for that just recently, so that was nice. You can see that's cloudy. Actually, it was just vacuumed, so that's why it's cloudy. Because when you vacuum, unfortunately, what ends up happening is you end up stirring up a lot of the junk as opposed to vacuuming it. So, anyway, also had to release some of the water because it was almost up at the top. It was supposed to be raining all day today, but it's not raining now. Either way, it was pretty full. Probably would have overflowed if nobody did anything about it. So, with any luck, people will actually come and pick up some of the things that they say they're going to come and pick up. I don't know how many, at least 8 times now, I've had somebody go to the trouble of saying they're interested in this printer right here. This is the ML1675. I haven't seen this in a long time, but I used to have a lot of videos of this on my channel. I still do. I think they're all still up. I haven't taken any down because they got bombarded with stupidity. But anyway, where was I going with this? I've had a lot of people say, oh, I'm interested, you know, come by between such and such a time. Oh, I'll be by that whatever time, 4 o'clock. I'll be by at 8. I'll be by at 6:30. And time passes and nobody comes. And when you send them a message and say, hey, I didn't see you at the time that we arranged. Are you still interested? You get no response. It's like, what's the point? Why would you even waste my time for that? And why would you waste your time? You know, like, forget my time for a minute. Why would you waste your time? The power supply itself is probably a piece of junk, especially since it uses crapo capacitors like all these Antec power supplies use. I don't know why they did that. For what I would consider to be a reputable name brand, it's really kind of amazing they did. I believe they're Channelwell. Most of them are Channelwell Technology, CWT, OEM design. So it's probably Channelwell that's doing it. Some of them I think are Delta, or maybe Fortron Source. If it were up to me, when I actually do finally get my own place, there will definitely be a lot more servers to run, because the way that it is right now, it's not ideal. Not ideal at all. It's actually kind of ridiculous. I don't like consolidating things, and the reason why is because if it fails at any time for any reason, you end up getting screwed. Whereas if one of them fails, it's not as big of a deal. So, it is what it is. I think this video has probably gone on to like 20 minutes total now, so I'm going to shut up. And like I said, anything else that I'm missing is going to go into the next video for next week.